Hello good people, I am so excited about today's video because I get to show you guys how I accomplished this amazing faux plant wall. I can't call it a living wall because it's not living, so I'm calling it a faux plant wall. Okay, I stay in an apartment and these walls get extremely boring and dull, and I needed a space that I felt that I could truly be creative and just like, you know, a backdrop for my videos. And I've always wanted to do a green wall, I just never really executed on it. And one thing that I feel like I talked about in my previous videos is about being intentional, and I did not want to speak on it being intentional and not really hold myself accountable. So I took it upon myself to actually create this wall, and so that is why I created this wall. This install was seamless, it was easy, it was just great. I probably completed the install like in an hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, hour 30 minutes. Yep. So let's get started on the tools you will need. You'll need a ladder, stud finder, wood screws, a drill, and panels. Speaking of panels, the main question that I received from a lot of people, surprisingly, was where did you find them? Now, I'm all about finding answers for myself. Like if I want to find something, I am going to dig, and I truly encourage you guys to practice that. I don't mind sharing information, but you know, if it's something that you really want to do, don't wait for someone to give you the answer. Like just go ahead and like find it for yourself so you can go ahead and check that box off. Okay, small rant over. Back to the panels. So I actually purchased my panels from Home Depot. They actually outsource with a company called Green Smart Decor, based out of California, and I will say like the quality is absolutely amazing. I personally purchased the Tulum panels, and one thing I'm going to give you guys a view of what one panel looks like. The pack that I purchased was the 20 by 24 pack. So I received 4 of these panels in one pack. To cover a 96 by 73 wall, I needed 5 bags. And so that's one thing you have to keep in mind is like the space that you're covering, making sure you have enough square footage, because initially I thought I needed 3 bags, but I needed, 2 bags, and I ended up needing to order 3 more. So make sure you have enough. Look at the product descriptions because some of them might not come in 20 by 20. Some of them may come in 18 by 18, 12 by 12. So please make note of that. Another thing that I want to point out about these panels is that although this is a 20 by 20, they actually come in smaller panels. So this was great because when I was working on my wall, I noticed when I got to the edge and the bottom, I needed to split these in half, and I thought I had to cut them, but I didn't. All I had to do was snap them out of place. So they're super easy to work with because literally you're just pulling the insert, you're detaching the insert, or you're inserting the insert. So it's great. Another thing I like about the panels is that it kind of looks expensive. I love like the finish of it. It's not dry, it has a little sheen to it. So it definitely looks good on my Zoom videos or my Microsoft Team videos. So I absolutely love the panels, but Microsoft Home Depot has so many options you can choose from. If you're more of a plain Jane type of girl, they have panels that fit your liking. If you kind of want to experiment with different types, you can do that as well. I definitely suggest you get creative because the opportunities are endless. I literally see a lot of faux plant walls like in Atlanta, outside, and it's just unique how they intermix like the different types of panels. So I definitely encourage you guys to experiment and have fun with it. So definitely stay tuned to see how I was able to accomplish this look.
So at this point, I am taking my ladder and placing it, just to keep in mind, I did not start at the very top of my wall for the sake of how my windows are set. And so I tried to start where it was not visible unless I opened my shades. So I'm going to take my stud finder and some piece of chalk, and I'm going to go across the wall with the stud finder and mark where those wood panels are, so that way I'm not drilling into an empty wall. Next, I'm going to take my drill and my wood screws, and where I marked with my chalk, I'm going to drill the nail in there, and I'll put 4 across, so that way I have enough stability for my panels. As you'll see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so I want to show you guys exactly how these panels work. It's super simple. So one side you have like these prongs. Let me flip it. You have these prongs, well, the inserts. So we're gonna call this side inserts. So one side has the inserts, and they also have them on this side as well. And then the other side has prongs, which is actually facing upward. So all you're doing is taking the prongs and you're going to insert them into the inserts. It's just like a puzzle. It's super simple. So, sorry guys, I'm trying to get my little system in place. Okay, so on the side that has the prongs, you want to use it that actually has more visible space. You have them at the bottom. That's just for it to with the prongs at the bottom, so that way you can layer. But you're just going to take your prong and then your insert, and I'm just going to snap it in place. It's easier if you flip it over and do it from the back, because you just see it better, you know? Well, for me, I can see it better. And I have 2 panels combined. See? Super simple.
Okay, so at this point, I had already pre-built a panel, and so what I'm doing is I'm securing it to the secured wood screws. And so you'll notice that once I installed that, I just started adding to it. It's like a puzzle. I mainly focused on the perimeter of my wall, and then I went into the middle. One piece of advice that I wish I would have known prior to going into it was that I wish I would have, similar to that far left panel, just built them out for the entire wall. So all I would have had to do was install the top row and just connect them going down. But again, that's learning. But now I'm having to do it piece by piece. As you'll see, I'm having to reference which side of each panel is, and then taking it back to the wall to ensure that it matches. And I think if you were to do the full panels, you would avoid having the spacing issue, because you could truly get a grasp of what that puzzle would look like. And it's much easier having it pre-built as opposed to building it out on the wall. Okay, so you'll notice that what we have left is this strip and then this bottom half. So what I'm going to do is take full panels, split them. See all that overhang? That's just gonna come right down. And then I'm gonna take full panels, split them, and evenly distribute them at the base of the wall. Okay. Here you'll notice the 4 different panels, and what I'm going to do is just literally split that in half and place it amongst the base of the wall. So at this point, what I'm doing is cutting off a section so I can have access to the outlets on this wall. So that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, so we are pretty much done with the wall. Now what I'm about to do is go through and pull the little flowers and like try to fill in the holes, because I did not follow the puzzle method, but I was just trying to get done with this. So I'm just going to fill this in by just pulling them in whichever direction I need to pull them to make it look fuller. And guys, we are looking at the finished product. How exciting is that? A couple of key things that I want you to take away is that you need to take your time, have fun, make sure you are approaching it with the puzzle method, and just try to be mindful of how many holes or nicks that you are putting in your wall, because again, this will have to come down one day and you don't want to have a major repair job, okay? But thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments what you would have done differently, or if you want some additional insight as to how I was able to accomplish this install. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.